Hello everybody, Lee Hunt here. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to have a chat today about the new PING G430 driver. Now it comes in what they call a Max, an LST and an SFT. We're going to hit all three. We're going to see what the difference is between them. Essentially the Max is their forgiving driver. You can see that it'll have a little Max on the end. Nice easy driver to hit. They'll probably sell the most of their drivers in the Max range. They've got an LST, which is the low spin model. So it's got the carbon crown on it. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to perform. And then we've got the SFT. So for those out there who struggle a little bit with their little fade, we've got the SFT model. Now this has been a hugely popular driver in the past in their other models. Started all the way back when they had the K driver. I don't know if you remember the PING K driver, but it was a little bit offset. Really got that ball turning right to left for a right-handed golfer. So if you struggle with the ball that leaks to the right, the PING G430 SFT, straight flight technology. So I'm going to try all three today. I'm going to put in my shaft that I would normally use in all three. And we're going to have a bit of a go, see what the difference is between the three models and see if one of those models may suit your game. I think across all three models, you can certainly find something that's going to suit your game. I think they've done a great job with this. I think this is going to be very popular this season. So we're going to check that out. I'll put a link in the description below to see all the different specs in the driver. So you'll be able to have a look at that. While you're doing that, don't forget to like the page, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you don't do that, I don't know that you're following, and you'll get some comments there. So we'll get going. Okay, here we go. So I've set up the G430 Max driver, and you can see why with the Max on the edge there. So when you're in store, you'll be able to see it's got Max. There's the LST's obviously got LST. The SFT's obviously got SFT. So great looking driver. I like the colour scheme. I've chucked my Graphite Design UB6 X-Flex in it. So that's the one I use all the time. I've just got it set up at 10.5. So first impressions are when you look down at the driver, it's nice and big. They've got some aerodynamics going on the top with the turbulators. So that's... And let's get every 1% helps try to get the club working better through the air. I'll put some images up on the video so you can see that a bit more closely. We've got the weight ports in the back. So we've got this little tungsten weight in the back where you can move towards fade, which essentially is out to the toe, or towards draw bias, or you can keep it neutral. I've kept it neutral. So I'm going to give it a bit of a hit. I really like this test because the Max, the LST and the SFT are all meant to do different things. So I'm really interested to see if they actually do what they say they do. Ping do a great job. They always have. A great engineering company, so I don't think there'll be an issue there. But I'm interested to see what it does to my ball flight. So I'll just set up, here we go. So my normal ball flight I like to hit when I'm playing is a little left to right. So the first thing I think when I set this up, I can see a little bit more face than normal than my gamer driver that I normally use. Well, I nearly missed that. That was not a great strike at all, right off the heel. But 101 club head speed, 150 ball speed, smash factor 1.48. So I think we're going to get a little bit of credit to the driver rather than me. It went left. I've hit in the left trees essentially, but very forgiving. It felt like it felt horrendous when I hit it. And, I reckon I've dead set got that bottom heel. So we'll see if we can warm up a little bit, get something going down the middle. Was a little better, but I think that went right. Very straight. So club head speeds come up. Spin rate 2671. Now I am using the Titleist RCT ball with my TrackMan 4, so the data's very, very good. Carried 240, 263. Ball didn't really move much in the air. Felt great. These new PING drivers, they've worked on the acoustics, and inside the driver, they've got these ribs that run inside the driver. And I'll put some imagery up on that as well to really dampen the sound. The old PING driver is very high pitched, which was fine in an outdoor setting, but when we were fitting indoors, and a lot of fitting happens indoors at the big box stores and all that, not just at Greengrass, the noise was quite deafening, and that can put people off. So I think PING recognised that, and they've just dulled the sound a bit. It's a great sound. I like the sound of the new one. Certainly a lot better than the old one. So yeah, but it feels very good off the face. Nice and solid. I like it. Feels like this is turning over a little bit on me. As I said, I like the ball to go a little bit left to right. That did turn over a bit. Distance is not too bad. Ball speed numbers are pretty good. Spin rate's not very high at all. So I can put that down to a couple of things. One, it's my shaft. Very forgiving driver, still low spin, which is great. So normally, you know, a forgiving driver, weight all the way back, spins a bit. I've done a good job, it keeps it down. I closed the face on that a little bit, and I think that might have kept the spin down a little bit. But it's still going out all right, 264. I don't mind it. For the purpose of this exercise, it does feel very easy to hit. So, I think tick the box there. It feels like I could hit it anywhere on the face, which I have in the first three, and it still comes off quite quick. Yeah, so that's turning over a bit for me. As I said, I look down at it. It's, really easy driver to hit, but I like the ball moving left to right. This feels like it's going to go a little left. It's not their draw bias driver. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what the SFT does. I'm really excited to see what the LST does, because just having a look at it earlier, it sits on the ground. It sits a little bit more open for me. This seems to sit square, if not a touch closed, but it's a nice address position. They're going to sell a lot of this driver. This driver is, it's a lot of technology, proven to be easy to hit. Certainly the ball speeds for my club head speed are quite high. So, very, 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 very good. See if I can just try to not get this one turning over.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, well, Siri got me in the backswing there, but she's not very happy. That wasn't a very good shot. I'll hit one more, and then we'll try out the next driver, but I like the feel of it. It's good. It serves a purpose. We'll see. Here we go. I didn't hit any of those any good. I've caught them high in the face. They're going down the middle, but it's, for me, it just feels a bit big. It feels a bit like it's aiming a little left at setup. But in saying that, for the general golfer, I think they're going to like it. Get one more. Yes, this goes to the left for me, but in saying that, ball speed's good. Every one I hit felt pretty good. I'm really looking forward to the LST. We're going to give that a go. Great looking driver. I'll get the next one. I'll change the shaft over. We'll have a look. We'll see if there's any difference. Okay, now I've changed over to the LST driver. So you can see that there. LST on the edge. It's a really good thing that PING have done, especially when you walk into a store and you can see it sitting there, shelf appeal wise. It's pretty easy to distinguish LST or SFT or Max. So they've done a good job. First thing we can see is it's a bit more compact. It's got that carbon fibre top. So I'm assuming they've used the weight savings to move it around the head a little bit. When you sit the club down behind the ball, it's definitely a smaller looking head than the Max, and you'll see that in the specs I put in the description, that it is a smaller head, smaller CC. It'll be interesting. It's got the weight port at the back still, so you can still see, you can move the weight in the toe or weight to the heel or keep it neutral. I've kept it neutral, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. See how it's different than the Max. I would think that this will have less curve. The Max for me turned over a little bit right to left, which is a little scary to think. I'm going to do the SFT shortly. That's really going to turn over right to left, but this should spin less than the Max, being the LST model. Okay, we'll see how we go. Everybody said 1. I just knocked that off the tee, went nowhere, so here we go. Okay, first strike, off the heel, felt horrible. Probably not a fair representation. That was almost missed, that one. First swing of the day on that LST, spun at 3200, still not through the roof, that's fine. It went straight, 250 straight down the middle. It had essentially no curve, 2.3 to the right. It was pretty good, but I guess that proves how easy these drivers are to hit. So if you get up here and you nearly miss one off the first tee of the day, went down the middle. That's a little better. Got that one. So straight away, we got it went a little left to right, which is nice. I'm used to seeing that ball flight, so that little bit of curve left to right. So 2500 spin, 273 total. So the distance is coming back, which is good. Definitely feels more solid at impact than the Max. Now, keeping in mind, I did change the shaft, so it's the same shaft as the Max. It's my normal shaft, but it felt more compact or solid off the face, which I liked it. I like to feel a little bit better. Not too bad. That's I really like that. That's good. That's the sort of shape I like. The little left to right. It sort of behaves myself. 269 total, 27 spin, very consistent. Yeah, so it's a different. It's definitely not turning over right to left. Ball speed's up. Everything's up a little bit, which is good. It's not really low spin, so it's not spinning down on the twos, really low on the twos. Mind you, I'm here a little fade. Yeah, it feels great. Feels good. So there you go, 2000. I released through that. That went 282. So just that little bit of spin come off it. I released the club a little bit more. We got to a little bit more distance. 282's definitely, and that's in meters. That's definitely longer than. I'm normally a 270 meter. If you're watching and you're working yards, it's at I'm sure someone's going to tell me it's wrong, but another 10% on 270. So, not quite 300. I like to tell people 300 yards, but it's not. That is pretty much spot on. So I really like that. So a little bit of spin came off it, a little straighter. Definitely like this driver for me personally. Still feels very forgiving though, which is certainly a trait of Ping. Little left, I gave that a little bit more. You could see the spin rate came down. There's that little one left again. That was more bad swing than bad driver there, but not too bad. Every shot has felt good off the face. Yeah, closed it down, but it felt forgiving. It's in the left trees. I had to chip that one out, but felt pretty good. Got all excited trying to hit it 300 yards. That was a toe strike. Yeah, geez, they're good. 1700 spin, so that's certainly spinning less. I caught that, I thought, pretty high in the toe. Now, Ping are talking about, and please don't crucify me, get it wrong, it's called spin-cicity. I'm backing it's like consistency, but spin-cistency, or and they've got a little different shaped face. So, you know, normally when you hit it high on the toe, it'll dark or low on the heel, but they've curved the face a little bit, it's more like an egg shape, so the spin's more consistent, essentially. And I can certainly say it is, because that was toey. It did spin low, but it didn't hook. It's probably one of the best shots I've hit today, or distance-wise, 281.9. Not a lot of curve. It curved 3.6 metres in the air, so it's pretty straight. Over 300 metres, over 300 yards. Pretty straight. Carried 250. I'll hit one more. So I like this. It's definitely doing what they're saying. It's definitely spinning less. Yeah, it's not as forgiving as the Max, but it's not forgiving. So certainly a driver, if you struggle with, you struggle with spin, certainly no problems going into this. It's easy enough to hit. Yeah, feels good. 2300. So as I said, we'll have a look at the data once I've hit the next driver, but I like that. Definitely spins less. You know, so LST, low spin technology. It's doing exactly what they're saying on the edge of on the club. So from that point of view, tick. It's forgiving, tick. Some low spin drivers are so hard to hit. The benefits you get out of the low spin you lose because you can't hit in the middle of the face. So definitely got that Ping forgiveness about it. Sits great behind the ball. Once again, if you can get over the little ribs and everything they've got going on here, which has all got a purpose, we understand. If you don't mind looking down at that, you know, great low spin option to chuck in your bag. Certainly worth a go. Okay, we've got I've changed the shaft over, as I said, back to my Tour AD. I've gone with the SFT. So once again, I'm showing everybody the SFT here on the toe. So draw bias driver, I put it down, certainly longer on the ground than the LST we would expect, more forgiving. For me, it sits pretty square, but you can see it's a little turned in to help you with the one that goes right for a right-hander. You'll see on the back they've got the weight ports as well. So you can see here, that's the standard draw. Then you can go to draw plus, they call it. So you can set it up either way, weight all the way to the back. Very forgiving driver. I'm going to give it a little go. We're going to see what happens. I'm a little concerned that if you watch the first half of the video or the movie or the YouTube or whatever you want to call it, the Max I hit left, the LST I hit pretty good, but hit a couple left. This thing should definitely go left. So let's see if Ping's telling the truth. I'm sure they are, but straight away, sit down. It's longer, and you can see it's definitely going to be easier to hit. It sits a little bit toe in, but certainly not a terrible looking driver on the ground. Looks very nice. Certainly not that you're going to notice. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can feel that turning. There you go. Look at that. That is exit stage left. So straight away, as soon as I could feel on the way down at impact, I could feel that club really trying to close. Felt good, but I could definitely feel that club turning down. I went 260, but that doesn't matter if it's in the left trees. If you're someone who hits the ball, and I'm talking right-handers here, someone who struggles with the ball going right, I've just put 40 metres of curve on that shot. So I'm not saying if you hit a 40-metre cut, you're going to hit it straight, but what I'm saying is that you can certainly see the difference straight away. It didn't spin a lot. I can only put that down to the club face turning down, taking the loft off it essentially and going left, but it didn't spin a lot at all. Okay, I'm going to try not to adjust to the driver. I did a little bit then, but there you go. Whew. That is certainly turning right to left. Well done, Ping. Brilliant. Brilliant. This driver, for 90% of those golfers in the world that struggle with a fade or a slice off the tee, you need to go out and buy this. This thing turns over. It doesn't want to go right at all. Very easy to hit, but it's certainly I'm going to try to fade one. I'm going to try to hold this off and see what it does. See if I can. I've tried to cut the ears off that. What's it done? It started left, didn't come back. Less curve, spin rate's gone up. What a great driver. It serves a purpose. So I think it's not apologetic to build a driver that's forgiving, that wants to turn over, and it's going to help people hit the ball down the middle of the fairway and help them with their game. Yes, we've all got, we'd all love to spend hours a day on the range and hit balls and get lessons and all that, but if you simply don't have the time or the ability to fix that one that goes right, get this. This thing's going to fix your slice. I tried to cut that and it still went 25 metres left of target. So it's a drawing machine. I've only got it on the basic draw. Draw plus I can't imagine. It would be scary for me to hit. "23 metres curve." It's gone 275 metres. So it's still a long driver. Spun at 2500. So essentially, if you look at the driver, you've got the weight towards the inside. When it's coming down to the ball, with the weight on the inside here, it wants to turn. It's designed to do that. All right, so if you're someone who comes in and you cut the ball, this driver wants to do that. So it's going to help you. It's going to really help your ball flight. If you're a person who struggles with the ball going left for a right-hander, left to right, or you fade the ball, or you cut the ball, to be fair, this PING G430 SFT is a game changer. Easily the easiest driver I've hit out of the three. Everyone felt like it came out of the middle, but everyone turned right to left 25 metres. Now, for me, that's not great, but for someone who hits it that way, you want to get these on order. These are amazing. Great job, Ping. Great job. The difference between the three drivers, although subtle when you look down at it, between the three, there's definitely a difference. The Max is easy to hit. It sits pretty neutral. Still got a little bit of draw bias, I believe, but a great driver. The LST, low spinning, looks like it sits a little flatter on the ground for me. Definitely feels like I can move it left or right easier, and the shots I hit, it definitely did that. This SFT, straight flight technology, assuming you hit it with a fade, it's going to straighten that flight up. Tick, does its job. So every driver does exactly what they're saying they do. Is that a surprise for Ping? No, it's not. They're a great company, great engineering history. They don't release drivers before they can get a better result with the new one. I think it was a 2-year cycle, the last model, so that's great too. Great job. Hope you enjoyed the video. Got any questions, put them in the comments below. I'm going to work on my hook shot We'll see you next time.